Would you like to learn the secret of how to get ranked 1, 2, and 3 on Google overnight, like in 24 hours? Then stick around because I've got an amazing interview for you today with Paul Murphy from Affiliate Tube, who is famous for his system, his overnight ranking system to get on YouTube and Google overnight.
Success is just around the corner, and the likelihood is that if you quit today, it's probably tomorrow. The universe kind of like does that to you. It's like just when you're about to quit is when you're going to get successful.
Hi, there.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Nice, good to connect with you. It's kind of weird when you reached out to me. I was looking at your channel because you're an action taker. Like you're obviously always putting up videos, doing stuff. And I thought, I want to actually reach out to a few people, see if they want to interview me on their channels. And I saw your channel, and I thought, I wonder if Amanda would want to. And then you emailed me, and I thought that's really odd.
Law of attraction.
Yeah, law of attraction. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah.
This is going to be great because one of the things that my members have been asking me for the longest time is how on earth do I get my videos ranked, and can I teach it? But because of my lungs, it's taking me so much longer to figure that out. And then when I saw your webinar, I thought, holy smokes, I didn't even realize that some of my videos were ranking on Google. So you totally opened my eyes to that. Now, I had done it accidentally and clearly not consistently because I have like over 300 videos and maybe 20 of them rank.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So I started looking at, okay, what are we doing here? And I thought, you're the perfect person. You're the perfect person for me to suggest to my members and to my viewers, get started with Paul. He's going to teach you how to do this, especially for people who are just getting started, because you focus on affiliate marketing, right? Whereas I focus on creating passion or creating passive income from your passion. So it's such a perfect combination. And so I thought that's amazing. I can be helping people, teach them how to really build that channel, build that community, and then I can help them rank on Google through what you're doing, which is just, I'm so grateful for that, Paul.
The email you sent the other day, I thought it was such a lovely email. You sent, just so eloquent, and I just thought, obviously, you want to help people. You like me, you want to help people. And you get people that want to help people, and you get people that just want to make money, and we all want to make money. But I love that. I just love that, that you've got that spirit inside you, and you can't make someone have that, right? I think we just, I'm very much like that. I like helping people in nature. Like, if I'm doing anything, I would like, I like to, I don't know. I think it's my default, really. I think I just would prefer to be helping someone if I can. And I worked for so many years on my own as well. I was working on my own for so many years. I was like, I need a community. I hate this job. I hated my job for quite a long time. Even when I was making good money, I really hated it,
Isn't it incredible to think? So we're in a pandemic, right?
Yeah.
And normally that would mean you're alone. But because you've built this community, you're not alone. Like, how cool is that, right?
Yeah.
So this is so perfect. And
although I do want to cuddle.
I
haven't touched anyone for over a year. Like, my hands have not touched human skin. I can't even cuddle my mum.
I know, like, everybody's been so, because I scared them pretty badly in 2016, when I was in a coma. And so everybody is very, very careful about not bringing anything into our house.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah,
you have to be so careful, don't you? I mean, I know it's different in different parts of the world, isn't it? I know in America it's pretty bad. In some, you're in America, aren't you? You're not Canadian, are you?
I'm in Canada. Yeah.
You are Canadian.
I am Canadian.
Knew it. I flipping knew it. That's why I quickly threw that in. I thought, I better just quickly throw that in.
But if you look at some of my older videos, I have a very distinct Canadian/Dutch/Kiwi accent because I moved all over New Zealand in the back. But I sound Canadian.
Brits can't tell Canadians and Americans apart, but it's like it's the same. Like in Australia, Americans think we're Australian, although they don't anymore. I think now we're all on Zoom. I think we're all starting to get used to each other's accents. But Yeah, back in the day, I used to, every time we went somewhere in America, you'd be like, I love, no, is it, where are you Australian? I'd say, no, I'm British. They go, I love the British accent. I think, but you didn't know the British accent because you just thought I was Australian.
I know, right? Yeah. When I lived in Holland, I had the best compliment ever because I went there intending to speak Dutch, but the Dutch are really proud of the fact that they could speak pretty much everybody else's language. And because I'm English, they're like, okay, we're just going to speak English. And I'm like, no, I really want to learn Dutch. But I had learned some German in university. So I started speaking German to them. Well, they didn't like that. So they thought, okay, well, let's teach you proper Dutch.
Yeah. So can you speak Dutch?
I'm fluent. Yeah.
You're fluent.
Yeah,
so if I said,
heritage.
ik ben vandaag zo vrolijk was ik nooit. You know what I'm saying?
Ik ben vandaag zo vrolijk was ik nooit. Yeah, exactly. I am today so happy. I've never been this happy before. And that's because, of course, we're having an interview.
Yeah. And that's from Alfred the Duck, which is a Dutch cartoon.
Right.
My brother lived in Holland. Everyone in Holland thought my brother was Dutch. So he moved there when he was 21. This is my brother who passed away. So he moved there when he was 21 and he lived in Holland up until when he died. So yeah.
Well, I am so sorry that you lost your brother.
And
you mentioned that on that. That's something you've only recently started to mention.
Yeah.
I think it's honoring your brother by doing so, and it's helping people to really connect the dots and realize how important it is that they take care of themselves and their family. So I am so grateful that you do share that story. So
I didn't actually. You're right. Actually, I didn't say anything about it for quite a few years. Just sort of kept it. In all honesty, my success, because I was struggling online for quite a few years, and when my brother died, there was I did a video. I had my phone up walking around. My mum had a caravan out in Point Clear. I might have said something. You might have heard me say some of this, so I'll just say.
I know. I haven't heard this one yet.
You haven't heard this one. So I had my phone, like my iPhone, and I was walking around. This caravan was on this kind of peninsula, this kind of area near Colchester called Point Clear. Most people think there's nothing to it. I think it's beautiful. It's got this kind of weird peninsula and you kind of get these kind of sweeping sea views. And it's kind of like you've got this walk around the caravan park. And I was walking around the caravan park about 2 weeks after my brother died. And I was feeling quite sorry for myself. Well, we all were,
Of course.
And then I was just kind of had my phone up and I was walking around. I was thinking, and I started complaining at the phone. I started saying, why do I never succeed? I've been trying everything. I've done everything. And I started to believe that when I'd had success in the noughties, it was a fluke. It was just a complete fluke that had happened. And then I was just, and all my friends had started to think it was a fluke as well. Everyone was like, well, because I was broke. And I was just like, I was walking around. I was like, oh, why? Yeah. And then I've still got the video. I may release it. It's quite private, but I may release it. But it's one of those things where I start to turn around in the middle of this talk. And I'm like, right, I'm going to do this. If anything's good's going to come out of this, I'm going to do this for you, Clive. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And by the end of it, I was kind of pumped and I was excited. And then I forgot all about it. Right? I actually lost that video, and and after that, I do remember. I remember having that thought process while I was in Point Clear, but I didn't remember the video because I was always doing little videos anyway. And after that, I sort of got to work, and I think to deal with my grief, which I don't think I fully dealt with yet, but to deal with it, I think I just threw myself into work. I thought, well, there's no more excuses anymore. You've got to do this. Yeah. And I kept hearing certain entrepreneurs, Pat Flynn, there was one on Pat Flynn's podcast, and he said, success is just around the corner. And the likelihood is that if you quit today, it's probably tomorrow. And it's that kind of like, you just, the universe kind of like does that to you. It's like, just when you're about to quit, is when you're going to get successful. And I'm anything if stubborn, right? I'm definitely stubborn, and I weren't going to be defeated. And I just, and I think that's how I've ever managed to get anywhere in life, is just by being stubborn, which is not a great quality in itself, but in that sense. So I just went, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I put up a free course and I couldn't give it away. Right. No one wanted it. And then I did that before my brother died. That was one of the things I did before he died. And then I started helping people with YouTube. And it seemed that every time I was doing anything, I always seemed to be getting results with YouTube. And I was thinking, YouTube's calling to me, this kind of, you know, me and my friend had been talking about YouTube for years, you know, and it just kept calling to me, and I kept thinking, well, you know, this is something. There's something to this. There's something to this. And then I started, you know, putting his podcast, which you've seen in the webinar, and I started, you know, helping people, and then and then everything started kicking into place. So it's kind of, that's the story. But I think honestly, for those first 2 years, when I was really going in the trenches, part of it was that I was broke. Part of it was that I didn't really want to be left alone with my thoughts for too long, you know. It was kind of like that.
Busy mind, right? Busy your mind,
yeah.
Deal with things,
Yeah, and I broke up with somebody not long before that as well. So I was kind of single, and I was like, without my brother, and you know, we were going through. So I was just kind of like, right, I'm just going to work, you know, that sort of thing. So it was like that. It was kind of, that was, in all honesty, like that is really, you know, if people want to say what drives you, what is your why? For me, it was, I wanted to be occupied. And luckily, I really loved what I was doing. Like, I really enjoyed it. And I think, you know, that's another why as well. You know, if you've got a hobby that's really good and you can just get on with it all day long, you know, but I'd be getting up at like 5 in the morning, going to bed at 11 o'clock at night. You know, it's like, it's crazy. I mean, I still work
totally
silly hours some
relatable,
days, but
yeah, no, totally relatable. One of the biggest fears people always have is, are they worthy of success? Right?
Yeah.
And so your story about talking to the camera is so relatable. I love what you're doing so much, and I love you so much. I just want to share your personality, and then really encourage people to go and be on your webinar. I think that is the best place to send them, because then they really get to enjoy, you know, you give amazing content.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot easier when you have a coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
99 questions that I get inside the academy, inside of ATS, is like, will this work?
Do you mind if I ask you, because I think this is something that everybody is really understanding, connecting to, really wondering about. It's like, okay, so you're doing really well on YouTube, right? But in a lot of your material you talk about, you don't have to have your face in the video. Like, if you don't feel comfortable being in the video, which I love that you really focus on that, because that is a huge issue. Like, you and I'm sure both of us didn't feel comfortable in video to begin with.
No.
One of the tricks is that after a while, you stop looking at your own videos as if you're looking at you. You're looking at it as a product that you're tailoring, fitting. You're listening.
You just become an editor. You just,
you really
right,
do.
okay, yeah.
You're like, oh, I say a lot of ums. Okay, I'm going to cut those out.
Yeah.
But you stop caring so much about how you look or how you sound, because you start building that community. And the fact that you're actually making a difference in people's lives, suddenly you don't care. It's like, how I look, how I sound, that's not important, but what I'm doing to help them, that's important.
Yeah.
So my question is actually going back to the beginning. Why did you start using YouTube?
Right. Good. That's a very good question. Right? Yeah, I love it. But the thing is that, okay, so if we roll back to 2006,
okay,
right? Sorry, 2007, right? YouTube had been out a year or something like that. And I don't think it was owned by Google then, because Google bought it. But YouTube was, as soon as it came out, and I first heard about it from somebody, I was around my friend Marcus's house, the one with the podcast, and I said, YouTube, this is the future. I said, you check this out, this is amazing. And then me and him wrote a song called YouTube, right? I can't link to it because he doesn't want anyone to see it. But we wrote this song, he sang it. We wrote this song called YouTube Man. And we basically tried, ironically, we put this song up and we tried to tag it so that it would come up next to this guy who was a instant YouTube hit, right? And it was all because I've done SEO in the past. I thought, oh, I wonder if that'll work. And it did, right? And that video has got thousands of hits, but I wouldn't go in the video. I sang a backing vocal on it, but I didn't really want to be part of it. And I think and then he did another video, and then I had to walk to get my glass of water, and I'm like this, you know, and he kept saying to me, you know, you'd be really good on camera, you'd be really good. And I said, I don't think I would. I think I've got a funny voice. I've got a weird voice. I don't think I would do really well. And then I found a video of me when I was at college, like 20 years ago. And one of my friends, I was doing commentary, you know, like when you walk around a camera and you do commentary, like you're just being a bit of an idiot. And one of my friends said to me, you'd be a wicked presenter, like on television or something like that. And again, I dismissed it then. I thought, no, I don't think I would, because I don't like my voice. And then I realized that nobody likes their voice. Nobody likes their voice. So I'm not actually, there's nothing wrong with my voice. It's just that I don't like it, because when you speak, you don't hear it the way you hear it when it's recorded. And then as I was trying different things, because when I worked in SEO back in the day, I was ranking websites, right? So no one knew who I was. No one knew anything about me. I would rank for a website that was, and then we would either sell it or we would put affiliate products on it and stuff like that. So I didn't really have anything of my own, but I would, I would be faceless really in a lot of ways. But the bit I did love about the job was when we started selling these and we had clients that were buying websites, we'd be on the phone to them, and that was quite good fun. But then when I first discovered WordPress, I then sort of started to notice some of the gurus, and I was like, okay, so this is what you have to do now. You are the brand, right? You're the one that has to do this. And I've since learned that that's not the case. If you want to, for making money, that's not the case. Obviously, if you want to serve, it's probably best if you are the brand and people can relate to you. But if you're just trying to, make money online, then actually there's so many ways you can do it now without that. But I didn't know that at the time. And when I was trying lots of different things, I was like, well, I'm going to have to sort of suck it up. And I can remember listening to Pat Flynn's podcast, and he just kept saying all the time is that he said he put off doing a podcast for about 2 years. He put off YouTube for about 5 years. Everybody seems to put these things off. And then when they do them, they realize that the actual fear they had doesn't exist. It's that kind of, once you've done it a couple of times, and I totally agree with what you just said as well. Once you've done it a couple of times, you will see yourself, and then you get a little bit better, and you cut out the ums, and then you just start editing. And then now, and this sounds really big-headed, and it's not, I'm not meant to sound it like that, but sometimes I can put on one of my videos and I'll just sit and listen. I'm supposed to be editing, I'm supposed to be working, I'll just be sitting there listening, and I think, it's just me, I said this, what am I doing? Yeah. I'm an idiot.
Oh, you get carried away with the content, right?
Sorry, say that again.
You get carried away with the content. You're like,
you get carried away. And the thing is, and I always think that's a good sign. If you actually are editing one of your videos and you find yourself just sitting there listening, that's a good sign, because it means that someone else will probably listen. If you find yourself really bored really quickly and you're like, oh, hang on, I'm trying to edit the video, and you're like, thinking of something, you go back. That is generally when your video, because that's what's going to happen with everyone else, right? Because we're all predictable, we're all the same in a lot of ways. So that's the weird thing. So if I sit there, sometimes I just listen to my videos, I think, I'm working, what am I doing? So yeah. So I think, so your question was,
so what made you get started on YouTube?
What made me get started? Yeah. So YouTube, I mean, mainly YouTube, because I kind of always getting little wins on YouTube, and always finding, I was always discovering. I can remember, like, I had a friend who was a musician in London, and he came down, and I sort of said to him, I said, oh, we could put you up a YouTube channel and we can optimize it. And actually, about 5 or 10 years ago, there was an interview with Justin Bieber on MTV. And he said, somebody asked him the questions like, if somebody wants to be successful in the music industry now, what's the one tip you can give them? And he randomly said, tag your YouTube videos correctly.
Oh, well, that is so clever.
Yeah, and I should put that in my webinar. He said that, and I made a mental note of that, thinking, do you know what? Back then, if you were trying to make it in the music industry, if you'd have just tagged your YouTube videos correctly, you can't make people like your music, but you could certainly get in front of people. You could certainly give yourself a bit of an advantage. And that stuck in my mind. And I thought, because of SEO is quite similar in the sense that you have to kind of, you have to put keywords in, and you have to work, so the mindset came from that. And then YouTube, I really didn't want to do YouTube in the sense of putting myself on camera, but I kind of just, my first video, I have actually shared it with a few people, but my first video was really bad, right? I was like, I had the light shining on my face. I was umming and ahhing, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing YouTube now. I'm doing YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing YouTube now. And I was just, it was just horrendous. But I just kept going. I kept going. And then I put up this free course on my channel. It's actually still on there. I haven't taken it down. It's really out of date now, but I've just left it up as a testament. And it isn't horrendous, but obviously I've you know, you get a bit more confident, you get a bit more better. You cut out the and things, you know, like, I mean, I don't always do it. I mean, I make so many mistakes all the time, you know, like everyone, but you get better faster. And for me, I think it was, YouTube seemed to be the right platform for me. Even though I didn't really want to do it, it was calling to me in a way. And that's weird, but it really was.
I think we got lucky because I started in 2007 as well.
Yeah.
And like you say, when YouTube first started, it wasn't owned by Google, and it wasn't actually a search engine the way it is today, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could search for things, but it wasn't set up as a search engine, just like Facebook, right? You know, it was set up just to connect with your people you went to high school with. But it progressed. And so when you were looking at my channel, you may have noticed it's like, okay, so she's teaching this and this and what, cakes? and that was one of those things. So your background with SEO, what you said about tagging it properly, I just did it accidentally. I happened to start my video saying, today I'm going to show you how to bake a cake. Who knew that was a huge keyword? And I happened to put in the title, how to bake a cake. And when the option for tagging, because it wasn't even available right away, came out, I was like, oh, I guess I have to put that in there. And that was it. I didn't do anything else. And for the first 3 years, I got like nothing. And then suddenly I was earning a couple pennies. And I'm like, ooh, because at that time, you didn't have to qualify for the AdSense. You could just do it right away. But then one month, I was like, holy smokes, that video just made 20 bucks. The cake cost less than 20 bucks to make, right? And because I was raised by entrepreneurs, I was like, this is passive income. Yeah. Right. And then I thought, I better start learning this SEO stuff. So I did that. And now that video, again, we'll talk about the AdSense thing because I really like your take on that. But for this particular video, it's a good fit. And it's that one video is earning between $300 to $400 in ad revenue every single month. Wow. For a cake. And it was
how many views has it got then?
I'm very close to 5 million now.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. I haven't got 1 million views on my videos yet. That's incredible. Well
Isn't
done,
that crazy? So, but that's what I mean. So, for everybody watching here, like the way that I met Paul, we are co-friends of Mike Filsaime, right? So you and I, we both went through Kartra when he was a founder of Kartra, and then we both still use Kartra because it's amazing. And then we moved over to GrooveFunnels when that opportunity came up, right? Because again, we trust Mike and we know that he's gonna make it work. And it's still in beta, but it'll get better. And anyway, so as a GrooveFunnels member, we have these business trainings for free, these webinars every Friday. And I remember, I think you may have been even the first invite. I think you may have been the first one, or at least the first or second. I was
the first on Groove Digital Presents.
Yeah. It was amazing. And I remember seeing the email about it, and I thought, I need to see that one. That
title of Groove Digital Presents.
Yeah.
I hope Mike doesn't mind me saying this, but he actually came out with that while we were on a call together. Because I was basically speaking to Joe saying, like, do you bring people on? Do you do stuff? And Joe said, yeah, sure. He said, have you got something you want to offer? And I was like, yeah. I said, and I was about to, my flagship course, Affiliate Tube Success Academy, right? Again, not many people know this. So you're getting to, I don't sound big-headed, you're getting some exclusive, but you are getting some stuff I don't really talk about very often. But I was about to park it. Even though it's like, but I'd just done a mastermind in April where I'd where I'd taken people through launch hacking, and I saw launch hacking as a real big thing for 2020, which it was, because you had some of these amazing products like Groove and everything being launched. So I created that course so that people could literally go and rank for new products. And I literally created it. It was using exactly the same tactics as the ATS. There's some slight minor changes, but pretty much the same process, because it's what, it's all I know really. This is what we do. So I basically did that. And then I think I was the #1 overnight non-launch affiliate, is the way Mike put it, for Groove when it launched. So initially, I mean, there weren't that many affiliates, but I was the #1. And then I was kind of like, as loads of people jumping on it, I sort of stuck around in the top 5. Now I'm not, because they've got millions, but I was, for that period of time. But when I was on a call with Mike and Joe, and they said, what we're going to do. And they basically then went and bought the domain, Groove Digital Presents, and they came up with it. They come up with the idea of it. Groove Digital presents on a Friday night, and I was going to be the first. All while I was on the call. So yeah, so it was kind of one of those things. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming they would have done it anyway, but it wasn't something that I don't think they had it planned at that stage.
I think
but,
you're okay to take a little
maybe
bit
they had. Maybe I was just kind of aligned at the time, you know. So I don't want to say they definitely didn't, because they probably.
I don't think Mike will have any problem with you taking a hint of the credit for that. He loves you, and yeah, no, him and Donna they love you.
Oh, cool.
And because you have helped them so much, you've helped so many of the GrooveFunnels members. But I was on that training, and I remember watching what you were talking about and how you could get your videos ranked on the first page of Google within 24 hours, right? Like overnight.
Yeah.
And so what I did, Paul, I watched the webinar, took tons of notes, of course, and after it was over, the very first thing I did, I'm like, okay, I gotta go check out my videos and see if I'm ranking anywhere on Google, because I'd only been focused on ranking on YouTube. And so I went to have a look, and I had like 20, 30 videos for my key phrases ranking in the first, second, third place of Google for free that I wasn't even aware of. And suddenly that penny
was that just from that training, was it?
Yeah, I didn't realize that, because I was focused on getting ranked on YouTube, which I got really good at. And I didn't realize that the side effect meant I was ranking really well on Google. And that's probably why I have almost 5 million views on that one video, right? Like, it's crazy. And
I would say yes, but I would also say Google's great for direct traffic, right? Yeah. But that one video, I would imagine, has gone viral on YouTube. For that to get 5 million views, I would have thought you've got more viral content with that, which is for things like, you know, recipes, cakes, things like that. That's what you want, right? You want that viral, you know, because the money, you're not going to sell the cakes, right? You want AdSense revenue for something like that. So yeah,
exactly. Brilliant. And being raised by entrepreneurs, I already knew I did not want to be spending, because people would constantly say, oh, you should have a cake decorating business, you're really good at this. And I'm like, but I'm a believer of passive income, and that is not passive income. You really don't earn that much on a cake for the amount of time and effort it takes to make one. Yeah. But I always took photos and videos of what I was doing. So when YouTube came up, I already had a ton of content to create videos around. Yeah. And then I would just direct them to my cake book. And I wanted to do a course, but like, you know, I ended up in a coma in 2016, which is why I sound like this. As a lung patient, you know, it's also why I move around a lot. And one of the things that really caught my attention when I woke up was that the work I had done previously for both my cake decorating and also like the financial education I was doing for children and families, they kept on bringing in income while I was literally struggling for my life, right? I didn't have to be there. And so when I woke up to that realization, I thought, I need to switch gears here. And also the fact that I can no longer bake because I can't breathe. But I'm like, I really need to switch gears here and really focus on how to create that passive income. So when I saw your presentation on GrooveFunnels, I'm like, this is amazing, because my viewers and my members have been asking me for a couple of years now, Amanda, teach us how you get ranked on YouTube the way that you do. And I'm like, I'd love to teach you this, but there's a lot of physical energy required to create a course. And so I was looking, and it's amazing, Paul. Very few internet marketers who are doing YouTube as their strategy, you know, how to do well on YouTube. None of them have affiliate programs. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense to me. But it was like they were afraid to share what they knew, because they wanted to just, you know, pay it in their course, but not pay it forward. And you are so clever, because you really understand passive income. And you know that, yes, you can make your own sales, you know, with your 24-hour ranking system that you've got, and your program, and also your, oh my gosh, your affiliate tube academy, where people can actually get the coaching to go along and have their channels reviewed. And just like, that's what we need. We need somebody to lead us through, because there's so much information and you get overwhelmed. So to have a strategy. And the thing I loved about you so much is that you know how to share. We were talking earlier about how we both just love helping, right? And you know that you could let somebody else promote your programs and give them like 40% commission, like, which is so generous. And people would say, but then he's losing 40% of his income. And I'm like, no, he understands that by sharing it out, he's actually going to get more sales, help more people, and actually create income for other people who could really use it. And like, not just through the course, but through promoting it. And I'm like, this is the guy I need to connect with. So I am so grateful to you, Paul, for being like the only YouTube course out there that allows affiliate sales, because that's incredible. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, I mean, this is this weird thing. Yeah, I mean, I think you can be an affiliate of other people's courses. Generally, when you've got their premium course, so quite often they allow you in that way. This is what I seem to notice, and it never really occurred to me actually that I was allowing that and others weren't until you just kind of highlighted it. And you're right, I don't. Yeah, I do. But yeah, I think as well, because my course is, you know, like, I think it would be a bit disingenuous if I didn't really, because my course is showing people how they can go and promote affiliate products. And one of the processes, one of our, like in our 5-step formula, we recommend promoting products that are going to make you a minimum of $100 just to set the game up to win. And obviously my course does that. And, you know, certain other products do that. But also I want people to kind of go and prove that it works and promote products as well. One of the other things as well is promote stuff that converts, because if you send traffic, I mean, it's all free stuff. It doesn't matter too much, but it does if you're going to try something and then you're going to get disheartened by it and then stop. And you really want to kind of remove as many obstacles as possible so that people can go, oh, okay, if I put that, and then I can get some real wins, right? And yeah, and also, you know, my biggest why really for all of this, because, and I know people think I'm like talking, it's one of those kind of like buzzwords that people say, but I could retire tomorrow and go back to what I did before and just carry on just putting up products on YouTube. I could do that all day, every day, and probably make more actually, because I wouldn't have to worry about, you know, I was talking to you earlier about my webinar, right? We are switching some things up and trying to do, and that takes a lot of time, right? But I could just send traffic to someone else's product. It's kind of like the smart way to do business if you're just making money. But obviously for me, it's reaching people, making an impact. And you know, and people say to me, yeah, but you are making money. Yeah, of course. Like we're making money, but the fact is that it's, you know, where do you want to channel your energy? Where do you want to go? And, you know, I could retire tomorrow, but in all honesty, I just want to serve. And I can't scratch the surface with this system. Like, this system is so, if every single person, every one of your audience members wanted to promote ClickFunnels or Kartra or GrooveFunnels, most people will go and put up a video and they'll try and rank for GrooveFunnels, right? Which is, you know, we've got a lot of people inside of GrooveFunnels with my course, so it's not that easy, right? Although it's actually low competition, but it's not that easy in the sense that there's a lot of people doing it, right? With my system, you can do it, but the fact is that you can also solve the reasons why people need that. How to build a landing page in 5 minutes, how to get in front, how to fill up my restaurant with customers after COVID, right? This will be something that a restaurant owner will be looking for. That's just one example. And then you basically go and put a video in front of them and you show them you're using GrooveFunnels or Kartra or ClickFunnels instead of a website, right? And you're saying, right, well, this is better because you can get people to come in, that they can actually go to a website, they can choose their meal, they can book their table, they can just turn up, right? Now, you know, if a restaurant does that, you think of like the fact that somebody hasn't had to do anything, they haven't had to touch anyone after, you know, with COVID, they can literally turn up at the restaurant when it's open and they don't have to do, you know, go through all the rigmarole. So like that is, and also it's going to obviously make the process a lot faster online, so that when they get there, you know, they're going to turn up because they've booked their table, they've, you know, whatever. So, you know, and again, it's just thinking about the problem, what needs to be solved in the problem, and how, and who's, and what are people searching for. And because of that, that was obviously just one business, but you think of all the businesses out there that have never heard of ClickFunnels, Kartra or GrooveFunnels or whatever, you can go and service them because everything's searched for on Google, everything. And then if it's not searched for on Google, it's searched for on YouTube. And actually, we've got this plugin now. We've been looking like recently. There's quite a lot of stuff that's getting more searches on YouTube than it is on Google, right? And this was a revelation. I didn't realize this. GrooveFunnels gets 53,000 searches on YouTube, 16,000 searches on Google.
Yeah, exactly. And I know which plugin you're talking about. VidIQ, I think it is.
VidIQ, yeah.
Yeah, I use VidIQ. I also use TubeBuddy. It's also really great.
Yeah, TubeBuddy's great. Yeah,
they're great. And of course, I know you're a huge fan of Keywords Everywhere as well.
Yeah.
And it's great because they offer free options, or with Keywords Everywhere, like you say, it's like $10 a year.
$10 a year.
Almost free.
Used to be free. Used to be free,
totally.
But yeah.
I know, it used to be free, but they give you so many searches that really.
Yeah. Well, it was $10, and then they realized that no one was ever going to spend the $10, so they made it $10 a year.
A year, I know, yeah. But again, just like all of us, we learn. We start, like you said, you had that course online, but you've learned and you've adjusted and you've created more, right?
Yeah,
and I noticed, because one of the things that Paul offers, and it's for free, and it's a 10 email course teaching you how to rank your videos on Google, right? On the first, second, third rankings for free. And what I noticed was I was going through Clive, of course. Yeah, and fourth, I know, because they've now opened it up to even more, and they'll probably end up opening it to 5, 6.
Yeah.
Right. So we may as well do the work now and get in there.
Absolutely.
And what I noticed is you've already gone ahead and upgraded those things, because that's the nice thing about you, Paul, is that you don't just put it out there and then just go, yep, that'll do, because that strategy would still work for sure. So passive income wise, you could totally just let it keep working, but serving your community, you've updated and you've been like, okay, so now this is what's happening. This is what's being looked for, and this is how I can serve better. And I really like that about you, that you take the time and the energy, and trust me, I appreciate the energy to update and do that. So I'll actually put a link in the description to Paul's 10 email course, because that in itself is already going to start helping you get ranked. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm also going to
I think
webinar.
It has been updated recently, so go grab it. It's really good.
Yeah, and I'm going to link to your webinar as well, where you're actually going to go really deep into your 24-hour ranking system. Okay. And like, Paul doesn't just do a webinar to sell a course, right? Obviously, we're entrepreneurs and we're going to try to sell a course because we know it's going to benefit you. But the really cool thing is that in the webinar, like 80% of it is pure value of gold that you can just use right away. You take a ton of notes and away you go. And but if you need that coaching, because if you're someone like me who gets easily sidetracked, it's really good to have a coach who's gonna, okay, Amanda, great that you got all these ideas. Now let's just work on this next step, and you're gonna get to where you want to go so much faster by not constantly sidetracking yourself. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that. I did have, oh yes, I want, if you wouldn't mind just sharing, because this was really cool. I mentioned I have AdSense on the how to bake a cake video, and I've been learning to take AdSense off of certain kind of videos. And I'd love if you can touch on, especially when it comes to recommending affiliate products, why to take AdSense off. I mean, obviously I have a couple of reasons myself, but I love yours. So I'd like you to share yours.
So yeah, in the instance of your cake, you wouldn't switch AdSense off because you haven't really got anything to sell. Like that is a strategy on YouTube. And like I do say this in the webinar, there's definitely movement. If you can think of something like baking a cake, you can get millions of views, right? And if you can get millions of views, you can go viral, and that's when you want to switch ads on, right? But if you're coming into YouTube thinking that's what you're going to do, right, then you are now up against, basically, if you go and ask your children or your friends' children what they want to do, they want to be YouTube stars. So the thing is, everybody's getting on YouTube now, and that's the route everyone's taking. So that's what you're up against. So it's kind of like, if you want to win the X Factor, you've seen the queues around the block, right? So it's that kind of, there's only one winner, right? So, every niche is getting a bit sewn up now. And I still think there's a bit of movement, but it is that kind of thing. Whereas if you want to come in and rank a video for a product or service or for a problem, right, in front of people that are searching for it. So this is not somebody going to Facebook to hang out with their friends and then getting hit with an ad, right?
Yeah.
This is not somebody going to, anywhere on the internet, like any social media, and then getting hit by ads. And when you want to go down that strategy, you're going to generally burn out quite a lot of money before it gets to that point, and quite often burn out all your money before you even get there. In most cases, it just depends how much money you got, right? Whereas with this strategy, obviously, we're able to put stuff in front of people and meet them in the middle. So they're already like looking for stuff. They're already in a buying state, right? And then all we need to do is we need to give them a medium that we know that everybody's watching. So, you know, if everybody here was to answer this question, it's like, how much time, what is it that people spend the most time doing on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, right? Well, obviously YouTube, but in fact, online, the most thing that everybody's doing online is watching video, okay? Netflix, everyone thinks Netflix is the #1 streaming service in the world. That's the first question people say, well, what's #1 streaming video service? Netflix. No, it's YouTube. and most people as well think that they're not, oh, well, I'm not a YouTuber, right? I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not going to YouTube. I guarantee everybody's on YouTube every single day, right? Because what happens is that we're not going to YouTube necessarily to look at Logan Paul or PewDiePie, right? You know, especially when we get to a certain age, we're not really interested in that. But we need YouTube because we need to be entertained or educated. And we'll quite often go to YouTube to solve a problem, right? We want to find out how to do something. So we find ourselves up on YouTube. And because of that, this is why I developed the course, because we can push those over to the front page of Google, because Google already knows that that's what we want. And it keeps people on their platform. So Google's is win-win, right? So they push them over and we can get them up straight away. So to make the most amount of money on YouTube, if you can get a video to fight, you know, I mean, Amanda, obviously you just said you're getting 5 million views. That's not an easy thing to do.
No, and it took over a decade. It's not an overnight.
Took over a decade. Yeah. So that's not an easy thing to do. And that's a really good case study for why that is a great thing to have if you've got it, but it's not really a great thing to chase, because $400 a month passive income, and you'll carry on earning that. That's great. But my video for Ever Webinar, right, that I put up, in my webinar, I show it with 1,000 views. It's got quite a bit more than that now, but I kept that for a reason. It's not 1,000 views, it's 1,000 buyers. So if I switched on ads on that, I'd earn nothing, right? So no point. My channel's got today, as of recording this, less than 5,000 subs. And it's making millions of dollars a year. And I don't say that to brag, because in Britain, it's like, so what? But it's important because
it's important.
It's important because you can make so much more money by switching off ads. And the biggest reason why you want to switch off ads, I mean, people say, well, why not run ads as well, right? Like, why not have both? You know, because I actually did an experiment. I don't know if you saw that, but I did.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Well, I lost $30,000 in November. Wow. I actually, because everything comes from YouTube, right? Everything pretty much. I do have affiliates that promote my products as well. So they obviously, I can't account for them, but everything that I get front end is YouTube, everything. And I think I spent less than $12,000 on ads to date, as of today, right? So everything is literally YouTube. But when I switched on ads, people stop signing up for the academy. Now, one, they're being taken away, because what happens is that if they stay on that, if they don't press the skip now button, right, they're now on someone else's video. So I've lost them. Yeah, I've got no chance.
Have a video. Yeah, you have a video for Ever Webinar, and then Ever Webinar goes, yay, I'm going to put an ad in front of this video for Ever Webinar.
Exactly. And Ever Webinar, that's a really good example. Ever Webinar captures the sale back, right? So that's the thing. So obviously we don't want that to happen. And secondly, in my case, this is more specific to me than anyone else. If I'm telling people to switch off ads and then I switch on ads, people don't want to buy my course anymore, because they think, well, he's obviously not doing very well with his course anymore. I was actually doing it as an experiment. So it was a big lesson for me. But in most cases, you don't want to do that. And the other thing as well, it was one other point I was going to point out there is, so we were saying, like, you know, if people get taken away, they're off your video. And the amount of money you make is around 30,000 views for about $100. So you do need to go viral. So you do need to be posting constantly. You do need to be thinking outside the box. You do need to be kind of really, you're going into that market, right? Which is, again, and the other thing is that what we're doing right now, I've got 4,700 members today. and I've got just under 1,000 members of my premium course, right? So I've got 4,700 because I've got two or three levels of different courses.
Right.
So I've got just under 1,000 of my premium course, and the rest is in other members, and they're all using similar strategies. They're all focusing on the same principle, right? So and like we've obviously got staggering results with this. But even with that amount of people, you know, I don't know another entrepreneur that's another YouTuber that's focusing on this at all. I couldn't even hire the guys. It's such an untapped market. And I thought I blew up last year because I started getting loads of sales, but I haven't, like, because this has still been the amount of people that come and do this. And when I thought somebody would start teaching it, but what people do is that they just start crushing it in their businesses and carry on with that, right? Which makes more sense. Yeah. So they leave it to me. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I know. It's silly, isn't it? But that's what I thought. You know, everything you think is going to happen never does. But yeah, so you know, utilizing the front page of Google and YouTube, and sometimes, you know, like the shift that we're seeing now is that we got 30% more traffic on the front page of Google, but I'm seeing a lot more movement on YouTube now for commerce. Commerce on YouTube, right? Ranking on YouTube seems to be really good. You know, it seemed to be that Google was pushing most of the traffic, but we're seeing a lot more traffic coming from YouTube. And it seems to, you know, like these videos now are getting more, some of these products and services are getting more searches on YouTube as well. But obviously Google's still the #1 search engine. So if you can get on Google, on the front page of Google, which most people can't, right? Most people can't get anywhere near it. And this is the kind of the only way you can. And the other point, there was just one last point, was that the front page of Google is obviously the best real estate on the planet. Okay. And video is the best medium on the planet, right? And if you offer that second opinion, if you scratch that itch, because we always look for a review, right? If we go and buy anything online, we're going to look for reviews like Amazon, eBay, TripAdvisor, you know, you name it, any product or service that you're thinking of has got a review site, and we're automatically sort of going there. We're kind of preconditioned, and our video kind of does that, right? So, and you know, even if it's your own product or service, you can show reviews of your customers, right, in a video, which you know no one else can do. So because of that, you're when somebody's in a buying state and they come to your video, they just need that. That's kind of like the last piece of the puzzle that they need. We actually call it the power of free, but it's basically because we won't just go and buy the product now without just, well, what does someone have to say about it? So if it's an affiliate product, we're effectively hijacking the sale. If it's our own product, we're basically making sure we get the sale, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like a bit of a gold mine, and that is why it's so powerful. So that's why videos for commerce, and you put a link obviously in that little area above the fold, and in the comments now we're doing as well. So if you do that, like once if they're in a buying state and they've already kind of seen what they need to see, what are they going to do, right? They're going to click the link. And we get really high conversion.
And reciprocity, right? Reciprocity, because you have helped them, so they want to help you, and especially since it's no extra cost to them. But I know that in the webinar, you also teach a little trick on how to really give them a reason to choose your link instead of
we'll keep that for the webinar then.
Well, we'll keep that for the webinar, and I'll put the link in it so that we can, because honestly, we need much more time for that, and we're already at the end of our time today, so I don't want to keep you too long. I really appreciate that you've taken this time. Sure. And it has been such a pleasure to connect finally.
It's lovely to meet you. And by the way, Amanda sent me this lovely email, and it was one of the nicest emails I had. And apparently I connected with you a while back and I couldn't remember. But but you, because I think, at one point last year, I was getting quite a lot of emails a day. That sounds stupid, and that sounds crazy. But I didn't remember that one. But this last one you sent, I thought it was such a sweet email. And I was like, I'd love to come on and chat to your audience and, you know, say hi. So but there is some nuggets in there if you guys want to grab that. But I just want to thank you, Amanda, as well. And just like, you are doing such an amazing job. You're serving, your YouTube channel is amazing. So guys, go and watch more of Amanda's videos because they're really good.
And when you go on to Paul's webinar, you're going to see that I ranked next to him for a couple of them. He taught me how to do that.
There you go.
Cool. Thank you so much, Paul. This has been amazing. You have given so many wonderful nuggets. So I want to thank you for that from the depth of my heart. Oh, yeah, it's been a real honor. And let's connect again in the future and
Absolutely,
see what
yeah.
we can do to help more people. Yeah, thank you.
I love your energy. I think you're a lovely person, so I'd happily do one with you.
Oh, that's so good. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah,
or your
and you.
evening.
Okay, take care.
All right, bye.
The affiliate wink.
Wink.
affiliate wink. Affiliate link